Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to lay your hands on a sweet tier 4 ship? Well, buckle up. This was so far the one and only time in the game where I really had to grind some very specific materials. To make this process a lot easier for you, I will show you how to prepare for it, what materials you need and where the best farming spots are. Before we head into these specific chapters, here's how you unlock your tier 4 ships in general. You will need to progress all the way through Terrain's Ship Dealer's perk. At the very end, this will unlock the desired ships at Kato's palace. And the last stages of this perk require a chunky amount of very rare materials and also some hefty credit investments. The last stage alone costs 100,000 credits. And don't get me started on buying these bad boys. Trading in your tier 3 plus ship will require around 480,000 bucks. And if you want to buy more ships without a trade-in, this amount will double. Your reward? A healthy upgrade of your ship's base values and also 4 passives at once. So far the tier 4 ships have only one specific wing type, but Rockfish Games already stated that there are more to come. Number 1. Preparations. Okay, before actually starting the grind, do these things to make it a lot easier and faster. Unlock the companion perk Mining Tracker from Hive. You get this pretty early and it's rather easy to unlock. You can now highlight the best locations for specific materials, very useful later on. If you are still in the process of leveling up and progressing through the story, mine every resource node you come by. It is especially worth to take your time to farm every copper spot. This is one of the first resources you will stumble upon. You will need pure copper for some very useful catalysts and for the ship dealer perk. When you first reach the Kaid Nebula in the late mid-game, you will encounter more rare resources like glacite, baromite and so on. The more you have already banked during the leveling process, the less you need to farm later. So again, make sure to clear all nodes once you visit the areas anyway. Craft one cheap, common quality flak and add a mining catalyst. It is by far the best weapon to clear nodes, usually in one shot. And with the catalyst, you will yield more materials from a node and have a higher chance to receive the rare variants, like pure copper, pure baromite and so on. This cuts down your time to farm enough materials significantly. You will need the raw materials as well as crafting different components of the superior quality level. You can occasionally loot these components from the usual sources, but that is very random and not a reliable way to get them, so you will end up crafting most of them. If you want to dive deeper into the crafting system itself, then check out my crafting guide. Number 2. What you need. Okay, what do we actually really need to unlock the final stages? Firstly, some credits. Each stage will get a lot more expensive than the last one, with 25k and 100k for the final 2. At this point in the game, you should have enough crafting materials for grey and green quality equipment and weapons. Loot is plentiful, so sell everything below the blue or rare quality level. High risk areas and some random encounters are a good way to quickly fill up your inventory. I have not specifically traded any trade goods between systems so far and always had enough money to purchase all I wanted. But don't waste money on buying multiple chips before unlocking tier 4 ships. You will need to upgrade them anyway and you can interchange ships at the same quality level for nearly free. If you want to try different classes, simply swap them out instead of buying multiple ships early in the game. I have seen the first spreadsheets for lucrative routes on Reddit and the Steam guide section. Apart from cash, these are the most rare and hard to come by resources you need to unlock the final perk stages. Pure Clygon, pure baromite, flawless phasium crystals, dark energy, pure copper and glacite, although I already had plenty of the latter by the time I needed it. So every time you stumble across these deposits during your normal game progression, make sure to take your time and mine them. This saves a lot of time later. Number 3. Best farming spots. Now, how to get all what we need in the most efficient way. I start with dark energy, because this is the only resource that cannot be mined and will be needed for various components. One are ancient containers, unlocked through puzzles and area challenges. These challenges and puzzles usually need you to place some ancient runes, use ancient lenses and so on. The rewards from those alone will not be enough though. The second source, and maybe the quickest way to get them, are the enemies in the Kaid system themselves. These lunatics are possessed by the ancient energies and drop them sometimes when killed. Elite enemies and the bigger ships have the highest drop rates. The Immaculate Redemption area is a good farm spot with a lot of enemies, and we use this spot also for another resource. 2 birds with 1 stone. All other resources can be mined. Mining nodes do respawn between visits, so you can rotate between various areas. Pure Clygon is the one resource, apart from pure copper, where the best farming spot is outside the Kaid Nebula system. The Vesna mining colony in the Zarkov system is the top spot here. But I was also able to find 2 or 3 nodes at the Reim Gate, or however that is supposed to be pronounced. Pure copper can easily be farmed at the Ceto Transit Gate. Usually I got around 5 nodes from the asteroid cluster opposite to the facility or on the left side when you enter from the Ceto Gate. There are also 2 copper-rich areas in the hinterland region of the Ceto system. The bulk of the materials you need you can find in the Kaid system. Some of these resources appear at the same locations. Glycite and Baromite can be found best at Aethor 1 and, as mentioned, at Immaculate Redemption. Baromite and Phasium crystals can be harvested at Aethorian Fault. This is by far the best and only plentiful area to farm the crystals. This area is a little tricky though. The crystals can only be found inside the hollow asteroid, so be prepared to do some cave crawling, but you will also find some valuable shipwrecks inside those caves. Look out for these little entrances into the caves. There are multiple of them on the outside. To reach some areas, you need to destroy those passages blocked by roots. Grab one of the acid pots nearby and rip them from their sockets by flying away. Then throw them into the obstacle. Those will regrow after a while. You can combine farming dark energy from killing enemies, Baromite, Glycite and Phasium crystals by simply alternating between these 3 locations: Aethorian Fault, Aethor 1 and Immaculate Redemption. Make sure to use your mining flag when harvesting nodes. That will save you some time. Once you have everything together and paid terrain accordingly, voila! Tier 4 ships at Kato's Palace. You can swap between 2 sets of passives and refresh the overall offer every 10 minutes. The shop will always offer 1 ship per class. Time to declutter your hangar and accumulate obscene amounts of cash to build your very own fleet of tier 4 ships. I hope you liked this little video to unlock the final quality level of ships in Everspace 2. Let me know in the comments what else you would like to see covered in the future. You can support the channel with the usual clicks or by using the new Super Thanks feature right next to the share button if you want. Thank you for watching, take good care of yourself and fly safe.